The US says it'll ease internet curbs on Iran to counter Tehran's clampdown on protests, which were sparked by a woman's death in police custody. "We're going to assistance create sure the Iranian people aren't kept isolated and in the dark," said US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. The relaxation of software controls will authorize American tech firms to widen their business in Iran. At least 35 people have been killed in the worst unrest in Iran for years. Mahsa Amini, 22, fell into a coma latest week, hours after morality police arrested her for allegedly breaking headscarf rules. Officers reportedly beat Ms. Amini's head with a baton and banged her head against one of their vehicles. The police have said there is no proof of any mistreatment and that she suffered sudden heart failure. Anti-government protests continued for an 8th straight night on Friday, while pro-regime rallies also took space in Tehran and other cities. Mr. Blinken said the partial relaxation of internet restrictions was a concrete step to allow meaningful support to Iranians demanding that their basic rights be respected. It was clear, he added, that the Iranian government was afraid of its own people. What's going on with Iran and the internet? The U.S. Treasury said the move would assistance counter the Iranian government's attempt to surveil and censor its people. But it's unlikely to have an immediate impact as it doesn't delete every tool of communications repression. Billionaire Elon Musk said on Twitter that he'd render active his satellite internet firm, Starlink, to allow internet services to Iran in response to Mr. Blinken's announcement. Starlink provides internet services via an enormous network of satellites and is aimed at people who live in remote areas who cannot obtain high-speed internet. U.S. executives said that the D license didn't cover hardware supplied by Mr. Musk, but his firm and others were welcome to apply for permission to the Treasury. Footage shared on social media on Friday showed large crowds of protesters collect in several Tehran neighborhoods after dark, while other incidents occurred elsewhere in the country. In the protests, women have defiantly taken off their hijabs and burned them, or slice off their hair in front of cheering crowds. While spreading across much of the country, many of the early protests were concentrated in western Iran, particularly areas with large Kurdish populations, the grouping Ms. Amini belonged to. On Friday, reports emerged Ashnavi, in Iran's Azerbaijan province, which borders Kurdistan, showing widespread protests, as well as suggestions demonstrators had taken control of large parts of the city. The BBC was unable to confirm this. Videos posted Ashnavi showed large crowds of people marching through city streets with police presence, while loud explosions could be heard. For more emergency news, subscribe.